Wow, what a ridiculous week. In a word, absurd. We are seeing how everyone tries to make sense of this massive shift, but their fear of Donald Trump is evident. That was all there was to it. Everything transpired as quickly as a wave of the hand. Afterwards, everyone has been rushing to figure out what this implies. Concerning the bill, its final shape and meaning are unknown at this time. It's great, but all it's doing is proving that the United States can advance, or that we can advance, even though none of us actually reside in the US. However, it is significant. Everything about the Ethereum token exchange traded fund ETF intrigues me. Everyone knew it was coming, but now that it's here, I can't wait to see the story that BlackRock crafts around it. Could you tell me the story of ETH? Due to the fact that during this cycle, ETH essentially lost its story, which for those of us who have been around is rather familiar. As for winning the story game, it wasn't it. To the public, though, they will present this in a different light. Also, it can't be just another cryptocurrency that would be so unpopular. People claim we have Bitcoin, and that's why. They will therefore need to pitch an idea for this. Even seasoned crypto observers were caught unawares by last week's approval of Ethereum ETFs. According to Raoul Pal, big money firms like BlackRock have the potential to push the price of Ethereum above $20,000 per ETH by the market's conclusion. In conclusion, Donald Trump's recent outspoken endorsement of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, including the acceptance of crypto campaign contributions, is associated with the surprising green light of Ethereum ETFs. A dramatic change in the SEC's attitude and the subsequent approval of Ethereum ETFs followed as Democrats rethought their position on crypto. A more crypto-friendly regulatory approach in the US could be on the horizon, according to this development. Raoul Pal discusses BlackRock's potential to influence the narrative surrounding Ethereum in his most recent live broadcast, suggesting that this might lead to a significant increase in the price of Ethereum. Julian Brigden, a macroeconomist of Global Macro Investor, and Raoul Pal shared their findings that Ethereum's price might reach $20,000 per ETH by the year 2025. Those of us with experience in the banking sector are aware that every single financial institution is involved. Since 2015, Goldman's has had a team. The clarity of regulations was their desire, and Fink has granted it to them. So I believe the shock will be the impending innovation boom within the financial sector. No amount of NFTs or anything else we do will bring it about. It will originate at the very core of the banking sector. As Larry pointed out, they've all been waiting desperately for this, and before you know it, they're tokenizing everything. Given the substantial cost savings, it's likely that Wall Street pushed for this. In my head, there's this one narrative that everyone should hear, and I can't stop telling it. For the simple reason that my friend was the head of fixed income currencies, commodities, and the treasury desk at National Australia Bank. Plus, he has recently retired. Then I ask, so what have you been doing for the past several years? I don't understand. Yes, he travels with euros, Australian dollars, stablecoins, euros, US dollars, euros, Canadian dollars, British pounds, you name it. I don't understand. No one notices, he thinks. Next week, probably, the United States enters into a T1 equity settlement. The currency markets are T+2. Due to the time zone, Australia is T3. We'll have to pay our brokers tens of billions of dollars to finalize trades, he says. Plus, they'll give us 0% interest on our regulatory capital, which is a huge drain. Therefore, stablecoins are our only option. Oh, of course, is my response. It's a very large use case. Canada will likely advance to the T1 round. I believe that. What about Europe and the UK? I have no idea. That is hence significant. Good luck, Elizabeth Warren, in your endeavor to assemble an anti-crypto army, someone said. On one side, you have millions of people who are ambitious, focused on their own financial futures, and who know the importance of means above ends. To compete with that would be an enormous challenge.
Yeah.
Trump was aware of that. I also think the Democrats are quickly realizing that, there are 110 million Coinbase accounts, and I have no idea which ones are active at the moment. 10 to 15 million are participating, but by next year there will be 40 million or more during the peak of the bull market. You will not insult their intelligence by telling them they have no chance of financial security in the future. There's just no way to win an election. Embrace it, and we will become the epicenter of the world. Plus, they're losing control of the situation due to their political bickering. Yeah, I see, in full. As if that weren't a tremendous opportunity. I feel like people are ignoring it. It seems like a hugely squandered opportunity, and I hope that Labour, who is in a strong position to win the election, realizes it as well. The City of London is making use of this. All of the hedge funds will benefit from this. The financial services industry is the hub of London's wealth, including asset managers. It is perplexing to me why they are not leading the charge. I have a little inquiry for Raoul before he leaves, but we recently discussed the ETH bullishness, ETF bullishness, TradFi bullishness, BlackRock bullishness, Larry bullishness, etc. I don't see why you think Ethereum is still at $3,700 instead of $5,000, $4,000 or much higher. It got me thinking after I saw your tweets about this. This is a domain in which we are all deeply involved. Consequently, all funds are shifting from Bitcoin or Sol to ETH. It's not completely new to us. I believe that will be maintained. I have, by some stroke of luck, been keeping tabs on the Ethereum Bitcoin cross for some time. I also said that the Real Vision platform now has these new templates for trade ideas. Their current state is that of a beta test. Also, it has skyrocketed since Saturday when I tried one out and put my entire theory regarding the ETH Bitcoin cross. Which means it was just a stroke of luck. However, in my opinion, there is now no fresh investment money flowing into the sector. Looking at the bigger perspective, the business cycle is just now starting to gain steam. Companies are seeing a quick increase in earnings, therefore there is a severe lack of capital in the actual economy. Sure, some cryptocurrencies and equities have risen in value, but that doesn't mean the entire crypto concept has. It is clear to us. The crypto spring, there has been a fair amount of disagreement, and the ETF is where the consensus will have to emerge. Then, it will be driven by all-time highs. If Bitcoin were to reach new heights, Sol and ETH would follow suit. To me, that's what gives life to NFTs, alt-season capital, recycling, and the 80 million inactive Coinbase accounts a second chance. That grand cycle that occurs during crypto summer and crypto fall has not yet taken place. Remember that when we return to the last cycle, we are still essentially in the midst of the pandemic. Nothing had been initiated as of yet. After consolidating, Bitcoin was about to break 10,000. I believe the term "we're so early," but we're early in the cycle is uttered more than any other in the crypto industry. We simply require new funding. So, liquidity, we discussed the withdrawal of cash before due to tax matters, will soon begin to reappear. About $250 billion in liquidity should be injected by Yellen on a regular basis. She has now received the tax documents. Quickly, liquidity enters the picture. As there is now less QT, the action begins, so I believe that being patient is the key. Based on our calculations, I believe that this puts the total space above 10 trillion in this cycle. You can see charts like this because of the everything code to kind of wrap things up. Just because of the loan maturity schedule and the rolling of the debt refinance cycle doesn't mean that they have to play out exactly. Past cycles are simply repetitions of present cycles. Therefore, I believe that Ethereum could reach 20,000 this cycle and reach its high in 2025. I mean, why not? On the other hand, the possibility of it being built